Here's the problem. Industrial and systems engineering is one of the most impactful fields in the world, and somehow it's still a well-kept secret. The demand is growing, problems are getting more complex, and the need for ISE has never been greater. So how do we ensure the field keeps evolving and continues to make an impact? That's what IISE's annual conference and expo is all about. And in this episode of Problem Solved, we're giving you a preview of what's ahead May 16th through 19th in Arlington, Texas, and 3 voices you should know before you go. From the future of the field to leading transformation in the industry to building an entrepreneurial mindset, this is your 2026 IISE Annual Conference Preview. We're starting with Dr. Laura Albert, professor at the University of Wisconsin-Madison and founder of ISE Day. She's a keynote speaker this year, and her message is important. The future of this field is something we all help shape.
Dr. Albert, we greatly appreciate your time. We're very excited to have you at the IISE Annual Conference this May. What would you like the conference attendees to take away from your keynote discussion?
A few things. Number one is that it's a consequential time for industrial and systems engineering, and it's up to us to set the future for our field. And that's an awesome responsibility, but also it's very exciting. At least it's very exciting to me. And I'll talk a little bit about ISE Day and why I believe it's a consequential time. But right now, we've seen for the last century that our tools are malleable. They can be applied to many different disciplines. And that's a source of strength for us, that we can apply industrial and systems engineering tools to new domains. That's constantly a source of strength. Not that we're losing sight of our past. I often say manufacturing is our past, and it's also our present and our future. But there's a lot of different ways we can go. And, finally, that culture is really important. And we get to cultivate the culture of our field and make it exciting for newcomers to join us.
You mentioned ISE Day. That was an event that really seemed to come out of nowhere. Of course, we credit you and your team for pitching it and putting it out in the world, and it caught fire real quickly. And I know you're looking to build on that success for this year. So the launch was very successful in 2025. What are your plans for 2026? How are you planning to expand for this year's ISE Day? Sure.
Before I answer that, I'm going to just talk a little bit about what ISE Day is. And it's been something that's on the back burner for me. I love celebrating like National Donut Day and National Pie Day. And it's like, well, why can't we have a National Industrial and Systems Engineering Day? And really, it's to increase awareness of industrial and systems engineering. ISE is a well-kept secret, whether we like it or not, but we can change that. And we really want to inspire future generations to pursue careers in industrial and systems engineering. And as an academic, that often means inspiring the next generation to choose industrial engineering as a major. And so that's really our North Star that we're coming back to. And one approach is that if everybody does a little bit, nobody has to do a lot. Like, we all start telling people about industrial engineering, the next generation will know about industrial and systems engineering. It won't be such a well-kept secret. We are really looking at strengthening 2 areas. One is increasing our global participation. And that was kind of a surprise in our first ISE Day, is that it was a truly international event. We ended up having, 22 countries participate in the first ISE Day, which was fantastic. And so we're hoping to have maybe a series of virtual international events over the day, given the different time zones we're all in. We're also making this year K-12 outreach a priority, which is a little bit more work to get started, but if we can lower that barrier to entry and really meet especially middle school students, high school students, and even younger, to get them excited about STEM and ISE in particular, that is a real opportunity for us.
Why should ISEs be more willing to toot their own horn? Because as you say, this is sort of the well-kept secret.
I keep coming back to this paradox for our field, in that industrial and systems engineering is growing faster than almost every other engineering discipline. Our graduates are well paid. They find jobs fairly easy compared to some of our other STEM disciplines. And ISE is really consequential to the world economies. So the world needs us, and yet enrollment in industrial and systems engineering programs has declined in the last few years. And it's not a sign that our field is dying, because we see all the demand and we see the growth. we know what a vibrant and exciting field we have, and we're just not effectively sharing our story. And so that is me lighting the fire under us needing to toot our own horn. And we don't all need to like shout it from the rooftops, but if we can all just tell a few people about industrial or systems engineering, or be that contact for a friend who has a child considering engineering degrees, and we can talk about industrial and systems engineering. Just open the door, show them the view through the window. Some will go through the door if we can do that.
How are universities and departments helping to prepare students then for the evolving and potential challenges presented by AI, by the advancing technology? How are we preparing for the future?
A couple of different ways. I can't speak for every department or university. I can speak for my own at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And it's a little bit of continuous improvement and big picture vision. As a faculty member, and I always ask myself, where's the field going? Where does it need to go? And what do we have to do to be at the forefront? And that's like my guiding principle into, keeping our curriculum relevant.
Well, as we mentioned before, the IISE Annual Conference and Expo 2026 will be taking place May 16th through the 19th at the Lowe's Arlington Hotel in Arlington, Texas. You will be a keynote there, but you've also been an attendee of a number of these conferences in the past. How do you benefit from attending the annual conference and connecting with colleagues and other ISEs from all over the world?
For me, it's mostly about collaboration and networking, as well as the great talks. So I will see a number of talks, but I most enjoy meeting new people, meeting old friends, making new friends, and just hearing about the latest and greatest from the people actually making those advances.
Dr. Albert from University of Wisconsin-Madison, greatly appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Now we turn to Jennifer Van Buskirk, another keynote speaker, and she talks about how industrial and systems engineering has made an impact in industry, where she has spent more than 2 decades inside one of the most complex systems out there, telecommunications.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is an exciting opportunity, and I'm thrilled to join you today. I grew up on the East Coast, and I got my industrial and systems engineering degree from Virginia Tech. And I went into management consulting after school until I started with Singular Wireless, which was the company that was just created in Atlanta in 2001. And there I had the opportunity to work alongside and really learn from some of the legends of the industry. It was a remarkable time. Singular became part of AT&T back in 2007, and I've been here at AT&T ever since then. Over my 25 years here with the company, I've held 14 different jobs. I've been able to work in nearly every corner of the company and be part of some of the biggest events in the wireless industry. It's been pretty exciting. I'm now a proud Texas resident where the conference will be located. I lead business operations here at AT&T, which serves business customers of all sizes throughout their life cycle.
Well, if you can, give us just a little bit of a preview, a brief look at what topics you might introduce in your keynote and what you hope some of the attendees there will be able to take away from it.
Yeah, I'm not going to tip the whole story here, but I hope people walk away believing one thing deeply, that you chose the right field. Industrial and systems engineering taught me how to tackle complexity, make tough trade-offs, and do hard things. And just as importantly, it gave me the confidence to step into challenges really before I had all the answers. And that foundation has served me at every stage of my career. ISEs are uniquely equipped to solve complex problems, drive meaningful change, and shape business trajectory. And this field doesn't just prepare you to analyze systems, it prepares you to lead transformation. And businesses in every field and every part of the world, they need ISEs to help build, simplify, transform, and enable their businesses. And so I hope leaders leave inspired to act with maybe a little sharper point of view, a few practical nuggets, and the courage to move fast and make an impact. And so that's what really I hope people take away from my keynote.
Well, and as an industrial engineer, shout out to our Hokie friends at Virginia Tech.
Go Hokies.
How do you plan to explain some of the processes you use as an ISE to solve problems and to fix processes in the communications field?
Technology and telecommunications is really one of the most complex interconnected systems in the world. And that's exactly where industrial and systems engineers thrive. ISE expertise helps in designing, in optimizing, in scaling the systems that connect people, businesses, and data reliably and efficiently. And so there's lots of ways ISEs enhance telecom in this industry. I'll highlight just a few that are top of mind. First is on improving reliability, resilience, and performance at scale. Applying systems modeling, capacity planning, risk analysis, all of that to ensure networks perform under peak demand and recover quickly from disruptions. This is really key. Second, that ISEs are well equipped to is turning data into operational insights and using analytics to predict demand, prevent outages, prioritize investments, overall improve quality and consistency of operations. And third is one I'm particularly passionate about is how do we reduce cost while improving the customer experience? And this really centers today on leading AI transformations to streamline processes, reimagine workflows, eliminate waste, generally align technical performance with customer expectations. So as communications networks become even more software defined and AI enabled, even more critical to our economy, ISEs play a really central role connecting that technology to outcomes and driving impact from the innovation that we see around us.
And about that innovation, we've seen so many advances in wireless communications and technology over the years. We have these magic little boxes in our pocket that connect us to the world. What are some of the innovations we might see coming down the road, particularly with AI now a big part of the mix?
Yeah, wireless has been such an exciting field. I've been in it for 25 years now. Like, it's hard to believe, but the iPhone will be, the first launch was 20 years ago, coming up soon. And that phone launched on a 2G network when data speeds were at basically a snail's pace. Like, downloading a video was practically impossible. And today, as we've improved wireless coverage, speed, latency, coverage, we've really enabled life-changing things that most of us take for granted today. Things like getting places using Google Maps or calling Uber or maybe doing Zoom meetings. Today we have these lightning-fast 5G networks that stream 4K video instantly from practically anywhere, even support self-driving cars. So this industry has literally changed the world. But it's not the end of the road. This technology continues to evolve at a rapid pace, and the coming years are going to bring some truly game-changing innovations. One that we're already starting to see, satellite-based connectivity, is augmenting terrestrial networks to create complete seamless connectivity in hard-to-reach places. Pretty much everywhere you want to go, you're going to have coverage. 6G networks are coming right around the corner. It's hard to believe because we're all talking about 5G. And finally, we're going to see a massive IoT or Internet of Things expansion. And this will support billions of low-power devices in anything from smart cities to agriculture applications. Robotics is really hot right now. And even logistics will continue to use these devices. And so expect a future with smarter, faster, and even more ubiquitous connectivity that blurs the lines between devices, between people, technology, and the environment that we operate in.
That sounds fantastic, yeah. And you've earned quite a few awards and a good bit of recognition as a successful and high-achieving female leader in the technology field. How do you see your success and maybe that of others in similar positions helping to inspire and create opportunities for young women in STEM fields? You'll have a lot of young students at the conference who'll be listening. How do you see your success maybe being able to set a good example for them?
Yeah, at this point in my career, that's a priority for me. So I've learned for every hand you're given, you have to reach back and bring someone else along with you. And so it's an exciting time. The field and technology in general it's all not just expanding, but it's becoming increasingly critical. And as telecom and other technology evolves with more software-defined, AI-enabled industries, demand is really growing for leaders who can connect that technology to business outcomes. And that intersection where strategy, systems, data, and people come together is an area where women, and especially ISEs, are making a really big impact. Technology today is all about designing systems, leading transformation, managing this complexity, all to drive real-world outcomes. And those are leadership skills. So beyond the technology, leadership is really important, and they're essential to turn these big ideas into impact. And so I hope to inspire all the attendees at the conference, but my specific advice to women entering or advancing in this space is to be intentional. Build deep expertise, stay curious about emerging technologies. Don't underestimate the value of your preparation, your systems thinking, your ISE background, and your point of view. And then just don't overthink it. Like, go for it. Just do it. And the future of telecom and every other industry is going to be shaped by those who are courageous enough to take action, to lead the way and turn innovation into impact.
You'll have the opportunity too, while you're there, to interact with some of the attendees. You'll have a room full of very smart people. What do you hope to gain from visiting the conference and maybe being able to connect with some of the people there?
Yeah, this is my first conference, and I could not be more excited. I hope to gain inspiration and perspective. This conference is a great reinforcement of why this field matters, right, and how this prepares people to make a meaningful impact. But really, most of all, what I'm excited about is about the people. I'm excited to connect with other ISE leaders, practitioners, students, to share ideas and learn from one another. These opportunities are great ways to build networks and learn and make connections in areas you don't otherwise. I'm excited to see how systems thinking is being applied to solve some of the hardest problems that we face today and that we'll see into the future.
Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Jennifer's perspective is about scale and leading in complex environments. But IISE's annual conference isn't just about what you will hear. It's about what you will do. Doug Melton's workshop focuses on something that connects everything you've heard so far, taking that information and using it to create value.
Doug, thanks for your time. Thanks for being with us. Give us an idea, an overview for folks that aren't familiar on what Engineering Unleashed is about and why an entrepreneurial mindset is really of great value, particularly to industrial and systems engineers, people involved in problem solving.
Yeah, so Engineering Unleashed formed through the efforts of the Kern Family Foundation a while back, and this has been connected to maybe a program that people have heard of called KEEN. Engineering Unleashed, though, is an all-invite. Everyone's invited to this that connects to the mission. And so whether people are from a KEEN school or not from a KEEN school, or they're faculty or industry or graduate students, they're invited to this event because it fits that Engineering Unleashed brand. And it's really a collection of content, but it's a collection of people. It's a community on this platform. In fact, people can go to engineeringunleashed.com now, and they can sign up for being part of this community. It only takes a minute. There's no cost associated with it. And the reason why they've gathered around this is because of this idea. You asked about the second part of your question. This idea of entrepreneurial mindset, the idea of creating value in any context. Let's say that you're an engineer working at a company, and usually, it takes a team to actually do something, and so you can find yourself in an organization, maybe a particular unit, but that idea that you have an entrepreneurial mindset is going to make a difference because you're going to be focused on creating value. And that's really what it is. It's a habit of mind around creating value, using your engineering, the art and science of engineering, and creating value with it as a disposition. And other aspects that are connected to it are being more curious, thinking in a systems or connected way, and that certainly seems just part and parcel of what so many folks within IISE naturally do.
And when people think of an entrepreneurial mindset, they're thinking of starting a business. This is a whole different kind of pathway, isn't it? It's really more of an approach to solving problems in general.
Yeah, Keith, you hit the nail on the head. Sometimes that word has a lot of baggage for people, and they're thinking, this is a startup venture sort of thing, but it's not. It's about using this notion of creating value in any context, an NGO, a government organization, a company. You could even, some people have that are in our community, have extended it even to their personal as well as professional life.
And it's a very interactive program that you have at the workshop too. You get people are involved in different ways. You encourage them to bring a device. Just give us an idea of how that works and if there's anything new that's going to be presented this year.
Oh, so part of the lineup, fortunately, does not just depend on me, but it's folks like James. It's a collection of faculty that come from this discipline that have been involved, and they come to this ready to talk about how it applies to this particular context, to this particular discipline. So they'll be bringing in examples of all sorts of things, examples from their classroom, examples from industry, and those examples will end up being discussion points up on a screen, discussion points at a table. And Keith, you're exactly right. This is not a sit and get. This is much more about being interactive because I think, people are starved for community, and people are also starved for community where there are great ideas that they can see moving kind of the ball forward. And we're talking about, being able to create value in such a variety of ways, personal value, societal value it from an industry perspective. And it's not just all about the funding or the money connected to that term value, but it's really about good and using our engineering to do something good. That translation.
Yeah. And as James may attest, this kind of fits in with a lot of our other training too, doesn't it, James? That and kind of the ideas that we want to pass along to people that not are just theories, but here are things you can actually use.
It sure does, Keith. We're so grateful to Doug and the Engineering Unleashed team for helping us bring that into our courses. And our most popular courses, our Greenbelt courses, have this full integration with the idea of entrepreneurial mindset. In fact, I just taught a class this weekend, and what I love about it is we talk about skill set, being able to apply these technical tools, but then we talk about mindset. How do you actually use this information? How do you use these tools to make really good decisions that add societal impact, that make you sort of an engineering superhero? It's not just about solving problems, it's solving important problems. And how can you use that curiosity, connections, creating value to really bring that all together and solve important problems in the world? And students are so energized by that. It's not just how do I do the math to get the right answer for process capability. It's what am I going to do now that I know that to solve an important problem? And I think it really makes that connection explicit for students, and they really love it.
Well, it all sounds great, and we're looking forward to it again. I know you'll get a good crowd again. We've got a big conference planned, and we should have a really good attendance there. 2 to 5 p.m. on May 16th. It's a free course, a free workshop, but you still have to register in advance. And if you haven't signed up for the conference yet, please do so.
I'm excited for this, and I look forward to being there, and it's just a privilege to work with this group and its members. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Doug. And I'll say I'm excited as well. Great way to network with other industry practitioners, with other folks in academia, or if you're a graduate student, great way to make connections either in academia or in industry.
Yeah. And if you're in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington area, by all means, please sign up and come join us. We'd love to have you. Thank you again, Doug. We look forward to seeing you there and look forward to sharing news from the conference and your workshop going forward.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, James. Take care.
The IISE Annual Conference and Expo takes place May 16th through 19th in Arlington, Texas. There's still time to register at iise.org. If you'll be there in person, look for the Problem Solved Live booth. Follow Problem Solved on LinkedIn and Instagram for updates. Thanks for listening to Problem Solved. Every great solution is a story worth telling.